Let's get right into it. This is episode 624, I believe. Sold Not For Sale podcast. Coach Colin here. We got Tucker Carlson. He's in Michigan. I say that right off the bat just to give you some context. When he mentions the governor to these people in this clip that I'm going to show you, he's talking about Gretchen Wilmer. He has some choice words for her in this speech, but mostly this is a lesson for the people in the crowd and for you now as you see it, a lesson in how to tell the truth. You know, and it's not to assume that people are dishonest, but there's a way to go about it. And I've always felt this way as well. You know, there's one way to do it that doesn't get the point across and gets you labeled as aggressive and angry and violent and someone we shouldn't stand with, someone we shouldn't communicate with, someone we should just dismiss and push aside, someone we should call the police on, the authorities, cancel this person, all sorts of stuff. We tell the truth in a certain way, but there's a certain way where you could tell the truth where people just have to kind of accept it. Unless they're like a government entity or agency or a social media platform, then they won't listen. They'll just push you aside. They'll make something up. They'll just make something up. That's how they work nowadays in the 2.0 of cancel culture. That's what I like to call it. It's cancel culture 2.0 that we're living through right now. 3.0 is just people disappearing in black trucks. That's where we're heading. That's where we're heading. You know, be certain that's where we're heading, sadly. Before I bring you that clip, though, I got to bring you to the store. This is IamCoachColin.com. We got the Public Enemy #1 shirt. Of course, Google the World Economic Forum. You'll know quickly why this gentleman is Public Enemy #1. And we got the Sold Not For Sale shirt, a bold statement, because a battle for good and evil is afoot. And your soul is the prize. Good versus evil, I should say. And we have the certified pure blood shirt for those of you that survived the pandemic unscathed and untainted, unwavering. Good job. This is your certificate of achievement. Get yours now in a t-shirt like you see, or a hoodie like I'm wearing right now. Got my Public Enemy #1 hoodie. I'm wearing this thing out. I love to wear it everywhere. I was wearing it and some guy's like, who's that guy? And I do this show so much that I'm like, how do you not know who this is? And he's like, I don't know. You know, he's just like that NPC look. He's like, I don't know. I was like, oh man. Guy was young though. He seemed like he was like early 20s. I didn't want to open up the rabbit hole for him. We were in a camera store. I was like, I don't want to do that to him right now. But hopefully he figures it out. He'll see the face again somewhere, and then he'll be like, now I got to look into this guy. That's the hope. They're conversation starters, people. Anyways, let's get into this clip. And if you want 10% off of anything you just saw, all you got to do is put in the discount code I am Coach Colin, all capital letters, all one word, one L inside that name, Colin, and that gets you 10% off. If you've done that with us already, thank you so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. Let's get right into this clip.
Want to know, this is, and I'm being completely sincere, what's true? The true things are the things that you can't say. I cannot remember the last time someone in public life was prosecuted or even criticized for lying. If lying was a crime, I mean, your governor would be in Supermax for life. If being incompetent was a felony, she'd be on death row. Banning paint sales during COVID?
Couldn't buy dirt!
It's unbelievable. But there's no penalty for lying and there's no penalty for incompetence. So what do we penalize? Every society penalizes something. There's a death penalty offense in every society from the beginning of time. What's ours? It's telling the truth. If you tell the truth, the real truth, the no BS truth, like what's actually going on here? Is this actually working? And no, it's not. Why isn't it working? If you were to be honest about that, you're done. So you have to ask yourself, like, what does it say about a society where the only penalty is for noting what's true. It says something pretty bad about that society. Do you want to live in a place where lying is mandatory? No! It's a third world country, as someone just said. Literally 2 days ago, I was in downtown Buenos Aires, and I said to somebody, the economy's completely collapsed, they have hyperinflation, and I said, what's the exchange rate on the peso, the Argentine peso, to the US dollar? And they're like, well, the government claims it's 350 pesos to the dollar, but actually it's over 700. I was like, so the government lies about what the value of its own currency is? Oh, absolutely. I was like, that's crazy. And by the way, to pay for lunch, it takes a stack of pesos the size of a cinder block. And you need a backpack just to buy a pack of cigarettes. It's unbelievable. But I was like, I can't believe the government lies about the value of its own currency. And I was like, oh, wait, sorry. I shouldn't be surprised. Because mine does too. And about everything else. So if you want to make that better, and I'll stop with this, I think the only answer is to tell the truth calmly and slowly and fearlessly. Everybody knows what it is. They'll come at you. First they'll tell you you're hurting someone's feelings, you're mean. That's always the first. Then they're trying to appeal to your basic decency and then subvert it. No one wants to be mean. They did this during COVID. Well, you should take the shot. Well, what's in the shot? Shut up and take it. But I don't need the shot. I already had COVID. You know, I'm 26. I just ran a Ironman. Shut up and take the shot. Well, what if I don't want to? You're killing your grandparents. Okay. And so that's the first thing they do. They accuse you of being mean. Then the second thing they do is they call you insane. You're a conspiracy theorist. Really? If I were the sort of person who gloated, I would keep a list of all the times I personally have been called a conspiracy theorist or a wacko, and then compare them to the outcome 5 years later. They all turned out to be true. And I try to be a decent Protestant, not brag about myself, but like, the list is long. Very long. And then the third thing they do is just criminalize telling the truth. And you're seeing that now. There are people who are going to jail for non-trivial lengths. By the way, anyone who's ever been to a jail knows, and there are a bunch of sheriffs here, and they know best of all, any time in jail is not trivial. Any time behind bars. A drunk driving offense for a night can change your life. You don't want to go to jail. Period. It's not a joke. And anyone who tells you, oh, he's going to Club Fed where they have volleyball. Right. Taking away a person's freedom and locking him in a cage where he can't see the stars at night is, short of killing him, maybe more than killing him, the gravest thing you can do to another human being. So no one should ever minimize the penalty of prison time or jail time. It's profound. It'll destroy you and your family. And they're sending people to prison for saying that the last election was rigged, which it was. So, oh, how can you say the last election was rigged? Well, when the country's largest law enforcement organization, the FBI, actively works on behalf of one political party, and when its largest intelligence gathering agency, the CIA, does the same, it's a little bit like what's happening in Michigan. When federal employees paid for by the tax dollars of everyone take an aggressive position on the side of one political party, you can't have a fair election. Because you're using public money to put your thumb on the scale on behalf of a partisan cause. It is totally immoral. And it's not free and fair. If our election took place in Bolivia, the 2020 presidential election took place in Bolivia, I can promise you the State Department would report back and say that was not a free and fair election. And Wikipedia would report it was a clouded election because there was fraud and interference, which there was. If some oligarch, some tech oligarch, spent nearly $500 million to control the mechanics of the Bolivian election in 2020, we would say it's not a legitimate election. But when Mark Zuckerberg does it in the United States, he's just helping with COVID. Yeah, we're really afraid of COVID, I'm sure. Yeah. So for saying that out loud, people are going to prison. And of course, the whole point is to convince you not to say it out loud. So don't let them. That's the only point. Don't let them. And if you keep telling the truth, some of you probably get indicted by Dana Nessel. Well, you're going to women's prison, a little better. But still prison. But it's worth it. Anyway, don't be intimidated. Your children's future depends on your bravery.
Man.
For incompetence.
So true. So true. Do not be intimidated. You could sum it up with just that. That alone. The telling the truth calmly, fearlessly, along with don't be intimidated. That's all you really need to know when it comes to this type of thing. But Tucker went off on that clip. I didn't that was a little more bang for my buck. I gotta be honest. He went off, but in the spirit of what he was talking about, that's how you do it. He got a little riled up, but still the message gets across. Be confident in what you're saying and don't let up on what you feel is right, and tell the truth at every single turn. But even more importantly, tell it in the face of the deception, of the lies. It's so important. So important. I've learned that so much over the last 10 months since I started consistently posting on here. And, seeing Russell Brand go toe-to-toe with that MSNBC analyst or anchor, whatever he is, seeing Rogan have to fight through all these people smearing him, seeing Jordan Peterson. This has all happened in the past 10 months. Seeing Jordan Peterson getting the threats of getting his license taken away. Seeing what happened with Tate and how he was just completely deplatformed and put in jail, and no actual, just so much stuff. So much stuff has happened over the past 10 months. And it's such an eye-opening experience to be like, there really is a need for people to tell the truth. And it's funny because it feels like it's bigger when it's someone like Tucker and he's on stage like that. But the biggest impact has to be the public. The public in large numbers telling the truth. And like he said, not in a violent rage, calmly and fearlessly. Every single person who feels the way he feels, that identified with things he said, that identifies with things that you see on this channel, if you're interacting, think about how many people, channel gets 3 million views a month. If every single person interacted with people and told the truth calmly and fearlessly and was not intimidated at any turn, if everyone did that, everyone who listens to Tucker, that's where the real change happens. I do this and it's whatever. And Tucker does that and it's a crowd and that's fine. But if the crowd starts to do it, they hit way more people than Tucker did. And you're a part of that crowd. You just heard the message. You're a part of that crowd. If you start doing that, it changes things. That's when change happens. It doesn't happen, well, can't really say this, but it doesn't happen when it's just a few people screaming about change, because we have a few people in the shadows doing things and it's led to a lot of change in a negative way. But large numbers of people telling the truth, that's where it's at, Anyways, guys, I'm going to keep this one short. If you haven't liked the video already, like the video. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. And other than that, I'm out.